Hey, it's Joe Hashey, and today we're talking about whether tall athletes can deadlift or not. I'm trying to read the question I got in from Facebook. It says, "Hey coach, I am following you on YouTube for a long time. My name is," and there's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce his name, or Adovic, and I'm playing basketball in Las Vegas. Opportunities to play and meet NBA players. I'm 6'6" in shoes with an 8'6" standing reach, 6'9" wingspan, about 200 pounds, and I'm looking to add about 15 pounds in the next 3 to 6 months. Here the coaches make us do rack pulls instead of deadlifts. What's your opinion on that? So I take it that he's asking me whether tall athletes can deadlift properly or not. The issue comes not only from height, but the length of the femur, your upper leg bone. If you have a really long femur, the angle between your knee, your hip, and your back position is going to be off because you really have to push your hips back to sink down to a good deadlift. Now first, specifically to his question, I don't have a problem with rack pulls, so maybe the coaches, I'm not one to second guess, have a good reason for using rack pulls. Maybe they're dealing with people from 6'6" to 7 feet plus, and rack pulls a little bit easier to put in their program so they don't have to individualize it necessarily for shorter players. That being said, this is a general statement, not, again, anything against this program. Most people who tell me they're too tall to deadlift are full of I stand 6'5". I have no problem with deadlifting. Sure, it's a long pull. Sure, I might not have a mechanical advantage like shorter people with longer arms, but that's just the nature of lifting. And as athletes, you're all not going to be proportioned the same. Usually I see it as more of an ego issue than a height issue. When the taller people struggle at the beginning, they instantly shut down and say, I can't deadlift, it must be because I'm too tall. When reality is, you're going to have to start at a lighter weight. You're going to have to build up. You're going to have to take some shots to your pride to be able to learn how to do it. Unless we're talking people with extremely long femurs, extremely long, I'm talking 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7-footers, people that you generally don't see walking around using that as an excuse. They're generally the people that aren't going to be able to get into the correct position without a lot of assistance. So I'm not saying that there aren't people that are too tall to deadlift out there. I'm just saying I haven't met one of them yet. And for the general population, for your general 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guys, you can deadlift. You have to be honest with yourself on whether you want to invest the time or not to learn how to do it correctly. Taller athletes can benefit from perhaps using a sumo stance on the deadlift, where they're taking a wider base, pointing their toes out, sinking their hips back, so they don't have clearing their knee issues that a longer femur might create with the angle on the hip joint. Now I really appreciate that question being submitted on our Facebook fan page. As a tall athlete myself and a tall lifter, it's been something I've been meaning to discuss. So to summarize, you should be able to deadlift unless you are, I'm talking 6'8", 6'9" plus, but it's going to take you longer to do, so you have to figure out whether that works in your program or not. Hopefully that makes sense. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys soon.